Tracking the pulse of the road and the future of flight. From vital transit policy shifts, we cut through the traffic to bring you the stories that drive us. Your fast track guide to everything on the move starts right now. From the Billionaire News Channel to Mellow 947 BFM, I'm Paolo de Rosario, and this is Shift Happens. Ladies and gentlemen, now we have a special episode of Shift Happens. We are literally on the road. And of course, I had to have my co-pilots here with me. First off, we have the man behind Uncapped, Mr. Cap Maceda Aguila, motoring editor of Business World as well. And of course, BNC Mobility's correspondent,
Woo!
G. Barroga, the only person I know who would cheer for herself. G! Cap!
No.
Hello!
Yeah.
I'm gonna cheer for her then.
Wow, yes.
Oo nga eh, parang hindi awkward. It's just so fun to finally be on the road. Kasi
Yes.
G always tells me stories of her being outside on the road na respected pala siya. Hindi ko alam, totoo pala.
Am I not?
Parang hindi totoo.
Yeah,
I've seen it for
sorry.
myself.
Oh.
Yeah.
People
But
like executives run away from her. No, I'm just they know what she's about, and it's all business when G's there.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. And you know what? Sorry, G, you're saying.
yeah, of course, Sir Cap, it's the perfect time to actually welcome Paolo to our world.
Yeah, actually. Actually, I feel like I'm learning how to swim in a new pond
Yeah.
here, diba? So I'm excited to do that. But of course, we have a friend of the show joining us here today as well. He is the President of the Philippine Parts Makers Association and the Chairman Emeritus of the Electric Vehicle Association of the Philippines. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Ferdinand Raquelsantos. Sir Ferdy.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for being here. And alam ko that you were forced to be here by G. Barroga.
I know.
But
G, every time she invites me, I always have to come.
yeah,
Oh, see?
it's so good. So exactly, we all are. But we're here now at PIMS, and it was really interesting to note that when we first saw you here at the venue, sinabi mo that mali ata yung opening date na. But it's great that you're here.
I know. In fact, I have to tell sorry to PIMS,
Yeah.
to Campi for missing the opening. That was like a really blunder.
Oh no, but it's okay. The important
Yeah.
thing is he's here. And G, I think it's really important simply because there's so much to discuss here and now, especially when it comes to the conditions of parts here and the status of that industry.
Of course, right now, Sir Ferdy, we all know that you wear so many hats.
Yeah.
It's from Electric Vehicle Association of the Philippines to Philippine Parts Makers and solar power also you do that. But let's talk about parts, and right now the industry is evolving. It's very obvious that it's evolving, and the Philippines is closer to becoming an electric vehicle hub also. In terms of parts, where are we right now? Where is the Philippines right now?
Actually, the parts makers are still there. We still have the capacity and the ability to produce. It's just we're really hungry to supply our component parts, and that's why we're so excited that Mitsubishi has announced that they'll be producing or start to manufacturing locally an electric vehicle. Actually, they said it will be sometime next year, and this will be timely because the EVAP law, the Electric Vehicle Industry Development Act, supposed to end next year, meaning the 5-year period for import duty at zero and excise tax zero, will expire next year. So it would be nice if we have a local assembler producing an electric vehicle, whether it's plug-in hybrid or pure hybrid vehicle. Of course, we would like to promote also the battery electric vehicle, but whatever it is, the parts maker is really hungry to get back to the swing. As you know, there are very little local assembly is done here in the Philippines, like the Mirage and the Vios and some L300s. But yes, we need to have some more. I know a lot of electric vehicles are coming CPU, completely built unit. But again, the public transport, like doing the electric jeepney, is still ongoing. It's not that much as volume as concerned, but still, like for me, I produce seatbelts, so I still get like seatbelts to these jeepneys. So yes, we're hoping more assemblers or principals would come in for EV.
In terms of aspirations, is there a chance for the Philippines to be like an Indonesia or even a Thailand in terms of local production? Of course, that's something that if you talk to the brands, they would like that as well. We were speaking yesterday with the president of Camping, Mr. Jing Atienza, and he says yes, they would definitely like government to be more supportive in terms of laying the groundwork for increased local manufacturing in the Philippines. But is that really something we can realistically aspire to be among the titans in the region? Like
We've been hoping actually over the years, the market niche that we see here in the Philippines is not the passenger cars. It should be on the commercial vehicle. Like public transport is part of the commercial vehicle, logistics is part of the commercial vehicle, and I think Thailand, they're being focused on pickups and passenger cars, and even Indonesia, and same as Vietnam, but not much on the logistics side.
So this is something we can capitalize on.
Yes, and we have started it already. Actually, several years ago, we had this modernization, public utility vehicle modernization program, and I believe it's going to be continued once the EVs or the electric vehicle incentive strategy will be issued out. And this is primarily for electric vehicles, and let's focus actually on commercial vehicles. So like for logistics and public transport.
You mentioned a while ago that EVIDA is already starting to wind down,
Yes.
at least by next year. Does the industry in particular, at the current state right now, still need more government intervention or at least more legislation to help it grow, considering that the aid that we're seeing in terms of EVIDA is set to finally expire?
Yes, the key really is government support.
Yeah.
Whether it's parts manufacturing or assembly, car assembly, or even the program for electric vehicle. It is really the government support that really drives the program. And of course, incentives is the basis of principals to locate in the Philippines, to do manufacturing in the Philippines. Those incentives like the PESA zone and ease of doing business and everything, those are the key factors.
Sir Ferdy, I'm pretty sure you've heard of this. One jeepney maker actually is getting support from another nation when it comes to building their jeepneys and electrified vehicles. What does that say actually with the state here in the Philippines?
Well, we cannot really resist that because it's their own thing, and for one, at least there's a investment that is coming in because they're being supported by a foreign company. So it's okay for us, and in fact, we would like to see other countries also to get involved on this.
It's good that you mentioned that a while ago, G, because there is also I don't know if it's a stereotype, or at least people have been talking that when it comes to EVs in particular, medyo naglalag behind in availability of parts depending on the brand. I mean, we've seen different brands, to be completely fair, find different ways to try and support their EV units by creating local manufacturing. UAGI in particular is a good example. You mentioned Mitsubishi next year coming in. Pero in general, as we take a look at the entire EV ecosystem dito sa Pilipinas, is there still a lack of parts for EV vehicles or new energy vehicles in particular?
Well, the key components of electric vehicle is battery, electric motor, the BMS that goes with it. Basically, those items, we don't really have it here. But the rest of the items are basically common to internal combustion engine, the ICE engine. We do have those. But I believe we have a local battery maker, and I know they're shifting to lithium-ion batteries production. But again, there are several companies who just imports the battery cell and they repack it here.
Yeah.
So, and those are actually being used for a lot of applications for jeepneys, even for motorcycles or the electric two-wheel, three-wheel. So it's sort of a backyard thing, but it's there. It's not a part of our association.
Yeah. Pero nandun.
Nandun
Is
sila.
that safe though?
Yeah, well, yes, they do,
Okay.
they do follow the the ECE standards.
Okay.
Yeah, when you said backyard, I got a little scared.
Oh nga, ako rin eh. I had to clarify that.
Well, sorry, ito, using mga to.
If there's the demand, if the zero tariff would expire, then you'd be receiving the price of an EV would jump up.
Yeah.
Could you imagine 35% on tariff from most favored nation when they import it from most favored nation, and that's why a lot of Chinese brands is doing already their production in Thailand because we have this Atiga and it's zero coming from Thailand to the Philippines. So the same thing, if we produce our commercial vehicles, electric vehicles, then we can export it to 10 ASEAN countries at zero tariff. So that's some strategy that they're doing.
Currently po, if you average it out, we do know of course that there are local manufacturing here of certain models or assembly. Ilang percent po ang nanggagaling from local suppliers, and what's the level we can reasonably aspire for? Of course, kasi if it's a higher percentage, then a lot more people, Filipinos,
Yes.
can benefit from that.
One good example is a commercial vehicle of Mitsubishi L300. I believe we reach up to 76% of that because the engine is produced locally, the transmission is produced locally, and the rest of the components, like the rear bodies, all local. But on the passenger cars, like on the cars program, the requirement is 41% local content. But again, on the new programs, we want to level it up like to 60%.
But we can reasonably expect that from local suppliers. I mean,
Yeah.
the question probably is: are we set up to have a bigger or more significant share in making a vehicle?
Yes, we can. The only problem that we local parts maker are faced with is sometimes the brand principal would dictate where they have to get the component parts. So if they have a company or a tie-up in Thailand, they will ask the local assemblers, you get this part from Thailand rather than in the Philippines.
Is that an economics thing also? I mean, as far as ultimate cost goes, or
Actually, it's very competitive. Our price is because for one, they have to pay logistics coming from Thailand to here, right? And the local here it's really very competitive. Even the quality, because all of our companies are ISO standard certified. So
sorry, but to your point earlier also, is there something that government can do to help tip the scale in your favor?
Yes, and that's the reason why during the CARS program they listed down all the strategic parts that is available here in the
Yeah.
Philippines. But again, still the brand principle dictates, but as long as they reach the 41%, then they're okay, right? And actually, we can provide 65-70% local
Wow.
content.
So we're gonna take a quick break here. We have a lot more to talk about. To be completely frank, it feels like we're only 1/8 through the conversation. We won't have around 30 minutes. Again, ladies and gentlemen, we're still with Ferdinand Raquelsantos. He is the president of the Philippine Parts Makers Association and the Electric Vehicle Association of the Philippines, chairman Emeritus. So please do not go away. You're still watching Shift Happens on the Billionaire News Channel and tuned in to Middle 947 BFM.
escape? Discover Club Nalu, a serene beachfront retreat where stillness meets style. Nestled along the quiet shores of Bacnotan in La Union, Club Nalu is designed for slow mornings, ocean breezes, and moments that help you unwind. From cozy rooms and sun-drenched villas to relaxing spaces inspired by nature. Every corner invites you to pause, breathe, and recharge. Club Nalu, come as you are and leave feeling a little lighter. Book now at clubnalu.ph.
Welcome back. You're still watching Shift Happens on the Billion Dollar News Channel and tuned in to Mel 947 BFM. We are on the road on this special episode. We are at PIMS and we are still with the Philippine Parts Makers Association President and the Chairman Emeritus of the Electric Vehicle Association of the Philippines. Ang haba po ng resume niya, Mr. Ferdinand Raquelsantos. Thank you so much for not going away. I know we're all scared of G. Barroga, but G. Barroga actually has a quick follow-up to what we were talking about, because we were still talking about the conditions of parts here in the Philippines in general, and medyo lumalim na yung conversation natin. But what did you want to mention, G?
Yeah, before the break, we were talking about vehicle manufacturing, and Toyota, for one, said that they are being impacted by the current Middle East war. It is affecting their operations in the plant already, and there have been problems when it comes to the parts. Do we see positive things happening right now, considering that medyo naglalay down na yung war?
The parts maker is experiencing the same thing as Toyota is experiencing. For us to really to cope up, of course, when there's not much production, then we lay off our manpower. But a lot of our companies now are going or seeking renewable energy just to cope up. Of course, even private residences, they're all shifting to solar panels to compensate for the high cost. It's really, really tough. Hopefully, that war will end.
Yeah.
We'll go back to the old prices.
When we look at the parts of the parts of the war that have affected yung industriya natin dito sa Pilipinas, new energy vehicles have become more in demand.
Yes.
We're expecting new numbers for electric vehicles or new energy vehicles to come in at the end of June.
Yeah.
I know we're not there yet, pero what can we expect, or what are you expecting from these numbers?
Actually, last month, the vehicle sales is year-to-year compared is about 35,000 vehicles. And there was a spike, should I say, of like 157% on electric vehicles. We see that come end of June, when the inventory will really come in, it will be able to supply the demand, so that would increase somewhat. And it would stabilize probably a couple months later, but we feel, just like what you said, the fuel is not going to go back before prices, reward. So that demand of electric vehicles will go up.
And Kap, it's not a surprise, considering based on my conversations with you, G and Kap, that based on your experience over in MIAS and right here in PIMS, I'm sure that the demand for new energy vehicles over ICE is very obvious and stark, almost an incredible amount. Based on what Sir Ferdy said, is that really a surprise?
Not a surprise anymore. I think we saw that starting. I mean, the heightened interest in electrified vehicles started in MIAS.
Yeah.
And it's going on again here at PIMS. Boss G and I were here yesterday,
Yeah.
of course. And quite a lot of the new offerings, the unveilings, they were basically hybrids. And
Yes.
in some cases, battery electric
Battery
vehicles.
electrics.
So to Sir Ferdy's point, yes, we are seeing now that shift. Points for using shift.
Yeah, of course, yes.
Of course, a more decisive shift
Yeah.
into electrified. But the problem is also supply naman ngayon. So we were talking to UALI officials some time ago, and they were saying there's a backlog of there's a 1 month wait if I remember them
Yeah.
correctly.
Yeah.
I think that's the same situation in other brands as well.
Yeah.
So I guess it's a good problem to have.
Yeah. Actually, I was gonna ask about that because is there a gap between the supply and demand of new energy vehicles here?
There's a lot, actually. It's just a matter of, the lead time ordering. The distributors here in the Philippines did not expect the war, actually. As Cap, we were saying.
To be fair, I don't think anyone expected the war. Or,
Yes.
So now that the demand is there, but I believe by end of this month, end of June, it will be settled. And,
There's one brand actually who said that they're ready.
yeah.
They're ready to really give in to the customers what they needed, and they actually just launched a new model. Okay, that's the clue. Anyway,
Look at G protecting her sources.
I spoke yesterday to Director Patrick Aquino of the DOE, and then he said that, well, prior to yesterday's interview, he told me that they're expecting almost 100,000 electric vehicle registration by year end. And yesterday, sabi niya, nasa 60,000 na daw tayo, Sir Ferdy.
Wow.
Including light electric vehicles like e-bikes, e-scooters, and all of that.
That's a big number.
Yes. I'm not sure if you've seen inside, but there's a lot of electrified vehicles.
From the Chinese brands to the legacy brands, they are highlighting or putting on stage their electrified options.
Yes.
So that, I guess, that reflects how they see the market evolving or what the market needs at the moment.
For this year, we still believe that the market share of electric vehicle is not that as much as ICE. I would say personally, it's good enough to hit 20% of vehicle sales, and the rest are still in combustion engine. So there's still a lot of people buying.
By ICEs. But at what point do you feel, given the current growth and current demand, at least a growing demand of new energy vehicles, that tataas siya ng 20%? Like, how long do you feel before we reach maybe 30 or 25%?
Actually, first quarter of next year, the trend will be really going upward. So, in fact, I might be wrong with my estimated 2020. They could even be
Higher.
if everything, because you can see probably a lot of TVs now less than 1 million. I mean, it's really affordable.
Yeah.
Not like before, it's like 1.7, 2.8.
One of the things that makes EV so unique is the presence of the technology and the software. At what point will our parts manufacturing here siguro be able to service that type of that portion of the EVs, and when it comes to software and the very many types of technology present in the EVs?
Maybe the use of AI as well.
And the AI as well.
Yeah. So I know even in the States, although it's there, but a lot of Filipinos engineers are doing it, the software and everything. If you go to Fresno, California, where a lot of manufacturers doing the softwares and EVs, etc. Mostly they're Filipinos. So, I mean, before there's a local company here who does the charging, the components of the charging wall chargers, and they supply to China. But of course, China ends up, I don't say copying, but they have their own version.
Yeah.
So,
Reinterpretation.
Yeah. They have their own interpretation of it. Yes. How politically correct?
So yeah, it's possible as long as there's the demand here, and I believe we have a lot of engineers that can provide that. ITs, We have a lot of those. In fact, we export those ITs. So, yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, kasi grabe talaga, Gia, when we were discussing about new energy vehicles in general. The demand is there, obviously, but then the question has always been about, apart from buying the vehicle, it's the availability of the parts, it's whether or not we can service it properly, it's if we're ready to actually deal with the mga software problems.
Addressing range anxiety as
Yun din.
well.
Oo.
Charging.
But obviously, right now, there's models, brands that the range of the vehicle is like average 800 kilometers. There's like 1,100 kilometers. Again, because of the technology of the battery, they're doing the solid state. Before, it's just the lithium ion, and then BYD introduced the sort of solid state battery. And now, their ranges are so much.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't even have to worry about the infrastructure of the charging station.
Not as much, at least.
Because I do drive an electric vehicle. I charge it only once a week.
Yeah.
So I don't really go very far every day. But when I was computing it, they said the warranty is like 7-8 years, and practically we're good at 13 years. But when I was computing the times of my charge, my battery probably would last 20 years.
Yeah.
I'm probably not around anymore by that time.
No, you will be. You're still young. You're 40, right?
Yes. How long have you been using your EV, Sir Ferdy?
Well, of course, back in 2010, I converted my Corolla 76 to an electric vehicle. So ever since I've been.
Okay.
2010, you converted it?
Yeah.
Wow. Before we let you go, there's one question I always want to ask. This is coming from a car buyer's perspective now, especially. What I realize is that there are some different standards when it comes to computing range, because there are some Chinese companies who actually showcase their range based on Chinese testing, but that's different. It changes depending on the temperature of the environment, which when they do it in China, I believe it's around 20 degrees, 25 degrees.
Yeah.
Dito sa Pilipinas, it's different, and it changes the electric consumption. What is the most accurate range for people to look at when they are purchasing a new energy vehicle?
Actually, during the production or design of the vehicle, everything gets tested under a European standard. New electric.
Any DC ba ito po?
Yeah,
Any DC, okay.
So basically, if you have let's say 1,000 kilometers specs on your vehicle, only 80% of that is attainable. So if you're a buyer, don't expect that you will run 1,000 kilometers in that spec. You only get 80%.
Okay.
Because when they do the testing, of course, they do a lot of different scenarios, uphill, downhill, etc. So they average it at 80%. So that's how it is.
All right, so that's advice there for the potential buyers of new energy
Paolo is
vehicles.
buying a new car.
Oh, ayan naman.
Actually, no.
It's personal
Papadala ko sa
question.
dad ko. Okay, I'm actually doing okay right now with my own hybrid.
Paolo, if I may add, also you need to consider the regenerative
Yes.
braking system, because a lot of different models has a low regenerative, but others has high.
That's true.
So if you like, let's say, you can go travel from here to Baguio and back because of regenerative.
I agree.
Driver habits pa din also.
Yes,
That is true.
that's it.
Ladies and gentlemen, he is the president of the Philippine Parts Makers Association and the chairman emeritus of the Electric Vehicle Association of the Philippines, Mr. Ferdinand Raquelsantos. Thank you so much for being here and
Thank
joining
you,
us.
Paolo.
We're so glad you're here.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
That you've made it to PIMS.
Dress pa.
Oh, grabe.
Just the part.
Yeah,
Team
and-
blue, team black.
Absolutely. On behalf of my partners here today, Maceda Aguila and G. Barroga. You can catch them all on their respective channels. And ako po naman si Paolo del Rosario. Thank you so much for joining us. This is Shift Happens, and stay tuned in to BNC, the Binilaran News Channel, and Mellow 947 BFM. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it.